In the year 1099, the streets of Jerusalem ran red with the blood of over 3,000 Muslim and Jewish inhabitants, brutally slaughtered by Christian crusaders who had just captured the city, marking the beginning of a centuries-long campaign of violence and bloodshed that would come to be known as the Crusades. This dark age of Christian history is often romanticized as a noble quest to reclaim the Holy Land, but the truth is far more sinister. The Crusades were a series of military campaigns sanctioned by the Catholic Church, with the primary goal of conquering the Islamic-controlled territories in the Middle East, and they were marked by unimaginable brutality, massacres, and atrocities committed by both sides. The First Crusade, launched in 1095 by Pope Urban II, was sparked by a call to arms to retake the Holy Land from Muslim rule, but it quickly devolved into a frenzy of violence and pillage. Crusaders, often poorly trained and undisciplined, rampaged through the countryside, leaving a trail of destruction and death in their wake. The city of Anjou, for example, was besieged for months, and when it finally fell, the Crusaders massacred thousands of its inhabitants, including women and children. The same fate befell the city of Mahara, where Crusaders slaughtered over 8,000 Muslims, and then proceeded to cook and eat their bodies, in a horrific act of cannibalism. The Crusades also had a profound impact on the Jewish population of Europe, who were often accused of collaborating with Muslims and were subjected to violent pogroms and massacres. In 1096, a group of Crusaders led by Count Emicho massacred over 800 Jews in the city of Worms, Germany, and similar atrocities were committed in other cities across Europe. The Crusades also saw the rise of militant Christian orders, such as the Templars and the Hospitallers, who were sworn to defend Christendom against the infidel, but often ended up perpetrating atrocities against Muslims and Jews. One of the most notorious crusaders was Richard the Lionheart, who led the Third Crusade in the late 12th century. Richard was known for his military prowess, but also for his brutality, and his campaigns were marked by massacres and sieges. In 1191, he ordered the massacre of over 2,700 Muslim prisoners in the city of Acre, and then proceeded to launch a series of campaigns against Muslim-held cities, leaving a trail of destruction and death in his wake. The Crusades also had a profound impact on the Islamic world, which was already reeling from the Mongol invasions of the 13th century. The Crusades were seen as a Christian jihad, a holy war against Islam, and they sparked a wave of Muslim fundamentalism and militancy. The great Muslim leader Saladin, who united the Muslim forces against the Crusaders, was revered as a hero and a martyr, and his legacy continues to inspire Muslim militants to this day. As the Crusades drew to a close, the Catholic Church attempted to distance itself from the atrocities committed in its name, but the damage had already been done. The Crusades had unleashed a wave of sectarian violence and hatred that would continue to simmer for centuries, and would eventually boil over into the Reformation and the wars of religion that ravaged Europe in the 16th and 17th centuries. The legacy of the Crusades can still be felt today, in the sectarian conflicts that rage across the Middle East, and in the anti-Muslim and anti-Semitic sentiment that continues to plague Western societies. The Crusades may have ended over 700 years ago, but their dark and bloody legacy continues to haunt us, a reminder of the horrors that can be unleashed when religious fervor and nationalism are allowed to combine. The Crusades were a dark and shameful chapter in human history, a testament to the boundless cruelty and violence of which human beings are capable. They were a brutal and devastating series of conflicts that left deep scars on the world, and their impact can still be felt today. As we look back on this dark period in history, we are reminded of the importance of tolerance, compassion, and understanding, and the need to reject the hatred and intolerance that fueled the Crusades. The ghosts of the Crusades continue to haunt us, a haunting reminder of the horrors that can be unleashed when humanity's darker impulses are allowed to run amok.